Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the City Thots Podcast. We hope you missed us.
City Thots. It's been a
Yeah,
minute.
it's been a minute. It's been a minute, but we're back. We're here, and we're coming and hitting you with that amazing content that you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
So, I am Shaun. I'm your host today. I have Ivan to my left, and then Sam way far yonder. Yeah. How's everybody's week? What you been up to?
I'm tired.
We've been booked and busy.
I've been moving and just doing household things, and I'm tired, and moving sucks.
So it really is moving season. Like you just moved in to our mutual friend's place with his previous roommate. So same roommate's new place.
Same roommate's
and
new
then
place.
my boyfriend moved in recently as well. So me, same place, but new person coming in. Damn, moving so hard. I didn't even move, but I still had to like clear stuff out, get things ready, adjust to a new human.
It's the moving, clearing, like I live pretty light just because of my living situation, but it's like handling like the stuff that we share and like helping them out. It's just the whole coordination process on top of work. Game over.
Fair enough.
You know what I really respect? The fact that no one asked me to help them to move, because I would have to come up with some excuse to not help you, and I'd have to feel like a dick, but realistically, I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you move. I'm sorry.
I feel like the most that I asked, I think Kath and Nad, when I first moved into this apartment, was like, when I get the keys to this place and it's empty, will you help me come and like clean it up? Because like me and like my family were all coming to do that, and I think Kath maybe came and helped with something. I can't really remember. But I wouldn't get you to like lift boxes and pack shit up with me. Like that's just, also it's just like having somebody else who doesn't know your stuff pack away your stuff would like drive me insane.
Yeah.
Dude.
I can't find anything. Where'd it go?
Yep.
Where'd you put that one thing that I'm looking for?
Yep.
A cleaning party would be fun. You play some music, you just vibing out, but actual moving boxes and
Get
physical
some
labor.
takeout, sit on the floor. Like
I'm
that's the
not down
vibe.
for.
Yeah.
I don't mind the physical labor stuff. I think as you get older, like I'm willing to throw money at certain problems. Like here's pay some movers, move the big things. But it's funny that you bring up like the people packing things up for you.
Yeah.
So I guess a little bit of story was like this move that I had with like my roomies recently. Love them, they're chill. It was just very like, I think it was like high stress, and like they just came back from like Toronto. They're covering for their bosses, and I was like busy with work, and so we were moving our things, and we just had like really different game plans, and like our availability is very, very different. But it was like, and there's a lot of miscommunication. Like we worked it out, but one thing was like, I'm like, my logic was I got to move all my stuff first because it's light, and then I can help them move their stuff, right? And I'll tell them like, yo, these are your guys' things. You need to focus on moving your things because I don't know what you want to keep, whatever. And they took it as like, you ain't trying to help us.
He's not trying
You're trying to just move your things.
Oh shit.
But I'm like, no, it's not like that. It's just like the same. Like I think the same way. I don't want people to move my things because like one, I would feel bad if you move my things.
Yeah.
Two, it's like you have different feng shui. Like I don't know what you want to do.
And that's a good point. Like, what are you going to throw out? Because, like, you always do a natural purge when you're moving. I got rid of so many shit. I didn't even move. I got rid of half my shit just to, like, make space for my boyfriend to come in. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
also,
I
don't want you looking through my shit.
Yeah, so I'm just like, look. And I was, like, busy with work that weekend. So, like, I just naturally work weekends. I had things. So I was like, anything you leave here on, like, when I come back on the Monday, I'll help. I'll help you eat, right? But it's just moving. It's like such a big ordeal.
Everyone
so
likes
it's
to
like
do it a different way.
Different way. Everyone different pacing too.
Yeah.
Like
I think that's what's been interesting with like, it's like trying to balance at least for me, because obviously I've never lived with my current partner before. So like it's half us being like, oh my God, we're so excited to live together. And then like the stress of moving, trying to exist at once. Like all of last week, it was like, yay, we're so excited. And then like, oh my God, it's so stressful. Holy fuck. Oh, I love you so much. Like, I'm so excited you're here. Like, it's our first night together. Fuck, where's my shit? Like, it was just at the same time.
And that's the next step, like
And
moving in together.
Yeah, and the stress always comes about. Like, it's like so much louder.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited, but like, holy fuck,
There's shit everywhere. Like, what do we do? We gotta build this.
Out.
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like the happy stuff comes after the first couple of weeks, because you're just like, I need to feel settled, especially for like our type of people. Bro. I just need to feel comfortable and settled, and that things are organized and clean before I can be like, this is so nice.
Yes.
To live with you. But yeah, moving in is a big step. I think it helped that both me and my partner have lived with partners before. because we had like a laundry list of things of like, this is what we need to talk about. This is like the things that we experienced from previous ones. Here's what we need to not repeat, or like things that we need to do to get ahead of it. I'm sure things will still come up, but I at least feel more like prepared this time.
Yeah, you kind of like understand. Like at least you've tried doing this with
Yeah.
someone before, so you're like, okay, this is how we should probably go about this.
For sure.
Yeah.
You learn so many things from like the unwritten rules of how to live with someone. Yeah, going in for a second time will definitely be better.
For sure. I think what's tough this time, though, is with my previous partner, I've only ever lived with one other partner and his brother, I guess. And then before that, I lived at home. So, like, didn't have any other roommates, didn't live with any other partner. I think the last time it was what I guess is that it was easier for us to move in together, but harder to live together. For me and my current partner, it's going to be harder to move in together and easier to live together. And I say that because with my previous partner, we were both leaving a different place and moving in here together. We furnished this place together. Like, it felt like we're moving into our home together versus my current partner is like, I'm moving into your house.
Oh, you got the home court advantage.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, anything
Come
that you
on
says
in.
goes, right? This is
Yeah.
your
no,
spot
but that's
first.
the thing is like, I'm trying not to do that. And we're trying not to do that so that he's not. Because I think what's also tough is he went from a place that was his.
Yes.
Like, that was his
You want to be
place.
welcoming. You want to be like nice.
So he's like having to deal with the maybe like a bit of pride or like, yeah, like you went from, he didn't come from his parents' house. He came from his place that he like calls his home, has called his home for the past 2 years into somebody else's home that now he has to somehow try and make his.
Yeah.
So that's something we're still navigating. I have no idea how to like
Yeah.
make that.
Because you want to make it not,
Better.
oh, this is my home that you're coming into, but this
Yes.
is our home together now.
But how do you do that when all this stuff is mine? I've lived here for 3 years. You know, like
Yeah.
it's gotta give
Yeah.
and take.
You know, it's funny you can say because that's actually like how I felt when I first moved in with my roommates at our old place. It was like move in ready, and
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, like that's like best case scenario as a new person because you're like I don't gotta worry about nothing per se. Like there's a couch there, right? There's a TV. But it almost comes in like. And this is also a little different because I'm not moving with like my partner. These are like my friends. So it's like crashing at your friend's house for an extended period of time. And
Couch
just-
surfing.
Yeah, it feels like it, even though it's not like this is my room, but
Yes.
I'm like it kind of feels also like the guest room.
Yes.
So it kind of hits a little different too in that sense. So I totally get it. It's like
Yeah.
moving in, kind of like okay, I do live here. I don't have to be so like. Sam, can I please use the fork?
Yes, or like, where do you normally put this, or how do you normally do this, or like
Yeah.
all that stuff. Because I like did a walkthrough with him to like show him where everything was and like
The walkthrough.
the walkthrough. Like, this is where I put like the chargers for those soap dispensers and like all this stuff, so that he doesn't have to constantly be like, where is this?
Yeah.
What do you do with this or whatever? It did help that I like very luckily had this empty room. This room behind us had nothing in it but junk basically. So there actually was a space for him to come in and do whatever he wanted to it. Versus like, I think it would have been really hard if every like top to bottom everything was furnished the way I wanted and he had to like sell all his furniture, didn't bring anything with him. So I think that helped, but it's still like an ongoing thing. Like, I would feel the same way if I was like, all the stuff that I bought that I thought I was going to have for a long time, I have to sell it all and then move into somebody else's place. I'd feel some type of way about it. Unless it was a lot nicer. If I
Yeah.
was moving into some like penthouse suite with some like fucking
Like-
fancy ass I'd be like,
I don't need
me
all
and my
this.
backpack is all I need.
Yeah, me, my clothes, my toothbrush. Like
Yeah,
clearly,
right. Don't worry about me, babe.
You living in a different echelon. yeah, we in different tax brackets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm like
I
happy
get
to
it.
move, no problem. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
I'll sell my IKEA island. My
Struck tube,
struck
more like
tube.
destructible. Way fair, way by.
On the topic of moving in and roommates, I saw a couple of videos on TikTok where it was how a girl in a relationship sees something. First, it's like how the boyfriend looks at something, and the place looks tidy. You know,
Yes.
everything looks like how it should be. And then it's like, oh, this is how the girl sees it, and she's like, sees a little
Zoomed
water
in.
stain. She sees like a crumb on the counter. She says like one thing slightly out of line.
Dude.
Is there something that in your previous roommate situation, is there anything that they did that drove you nuts?
Yeah. Well, okay, I was kind of having this conversation with Ivan earlier of like, if there was like a spectrum of are you more organized or are you more clean, which one would you identify as? Because I feel like both, actually, my previous partner was probably, like, he was tidy. I wouldn't say he was overly organized or overly clean. He wasn't messy, wasn't dirty, but, like, wouldn't say he really was excelling in either area. Everything was just, like, good.
It's like coasting
Yeah,
kind
like,
of thing.
satisfactory. Like, everything was fine. My current partner, organized, like, he's clean too, but, like, cares way more about things being organized, things being color-coded, things, like, being laid perfectly and all that kind of stuff. I care way more about things being clean. Like, I was describing it as if, like, you open my drawers and stuff, like, sure, I'll organize it when I first put it in there, but if it gets messy, it won't drive me crazy at all because it's, like, hidden, it's tucked away, it's where it's meant to be. I see a fucking fingerprint on my microwave. Oh, baby!
That's crazy.
I'm, like,
obsessive.
psycho. Yeah, in that
yeah.
way. So which one would you say?
I think
You
I'm
are.
more organized. I think I'm a pretty clean person too.
Yeah.
But I think I have like object permanence.
Yeah.
If I put something somewhere, I have like certain places where I'm just collecting the shit that I really don't need, but
Yeah.
is like
You don't
one
wanna
day.
look at,
Yeah. And then it's like my little doom piles that are tucked away and it's put there and I don't think of it for months until I need it. And then I'm like, oh, I know exactly where that is. It's in like my hidden away doom pile.
Right.
But like I
Right.
like for everything optically to look like no one lives there. I
Yeah.
like for
Yeah.
everything
I want
you come into my
showroomy.
house.
Show- yeah.
It looks like I'm trying to
Showroomy.
sell my house. That's how clean I want it.
Yeah, like I was saying also, like, I'm organized when it is aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Like, I will
Yeah.
organize things by the way I think it should look, but if it's hidden, I don't care. Like, I actually don't. I mean, I care a little bit. Like, I don't want just like trash in my under my couch and stuff. But I care more about how it like looks than the function, I guess, of it.
Yeah.
I got some like hoarder tendencies a little bit. So like certain things I got way too much of. I don't really need it. And my girlfriend, even though it's organized, it's clean, she'll call me like a stuffer because I'm just taking the things that I don't need and shoving them into one specific place. And there is some sort of order there, but like there's a lot of fluff. There's like a lot of things I don't need.
Shaun has the tendency to be like, I might need that one day. And it's like the most niche, or he can like think of one particular scenario in which he would need that item that will likely come once every 7 years.
But you know what the best feeling is when that comes up and I'm like, I told you, I needed this.
I knew I needed my Troy
It's like the
Bolton
perfect
jersey.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
No,
exactly.
see, it's just the thing. It's like that taking up space hurts me.
For sure, same.
As like a minimalist, like I'm like
more minimalist.
I'm like, okay, if I don't use this thing and it costs like $5 to even $20 to buy a new one, and I'll probably have to run into that 7 years, worth it to chuck away. I cannot be bothered.
Okay, this is interesting too, because I don't remember what, I think it was also a TikTok that I sent to like my cousin, or she sent to me, but like, I would say you and I have no problem throwing things away.
I
Like,
love throwing things away.
I have actually, same. And it's honestly bad. Like, I actually don't even want to admit how much I throw away because it's like bad for the planet and shit. But like, I have no attachment. I'll be like, oh, I need to make room for something new and shiny. I love new and shiny. So, but I don't know if you buy new and shiny. Like, I'm replacing.
I don't like replace, but I like the feeling that in the same, it kind of scratches the same itch of organized. It's like, it's organized and it's so functional that it's like it's like sliding that brick into a wall and it's like it just fits perfectly. It's that. And it's like knowing that I use exactly 4 forks.
Right.
Need 3 cups. And then especially
You
when
are
it
a minimalist.
lays down in there and it looks like not empty, but not full, but like, oh, like this is so, it's clean in a minimal way, you know?
Yes.
Like it's so open,
man.
lofty.
For
What?
me, it's like
Oh.
a souvenir shirt that a friend that I
Can't.
don't talk to anymore that they got like in 2012, and I'm like, I need to have this here.
That's so funny.
See, because
It's rough. It's rough.
Like with clothes, especially that goes against the aesthetic appeal in my mind. Because like
Right.
these
Yeah,
random like
you're,
random
like-
shirts and stuff,
Yeah.
and then in my closet, like my nice clothes, I'm like, bro, this thing sticks out. I'm never
sure,
wearing this
for
thing.
sure.
Like,
Yeah, mine is like, I want to, like, you're a minimalist. I'm still a maximalist, but I know the limit to how much I'm willing to shove into my home. Like, it can never go past the limit. And so to remove in order to buy more, I just throw shit away. I'm like, oh, I'll just donate all this stuff. Like, I don't need any of that. And then I will have moments where I'm like, oh, didn't I have that one shirt that I could like use in this scenario? And I'm like, oh, whatever. But then it goes back to that I'm willing to throw money at things. I'm like, I'll just buy another
buy
one.
another one, buy a nicer one.
I know. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's not like a smart financially None of that.
But make me happy.
It's like right now, what do I need? I need to get rid of something and I need to put something here.
In my mind, once I have something, now I'm used to having it.
Yeah.
So I can't go from having it and being ready for this thing to not having it, because then I'm like, oh, but
Which is
now I'm
also
less
funny because
prepared.
you have object permanence. Like
Yeah.
you don't even know you
don't even have it. Let alone you don't even use it. So
I
it's
won't
like
think
not.
of it, but I'll know deep down when the time comes that I know and I can depend on it being there.
That's crazy.
It's obsessive.
That's
it's
crazy. It's just like, how do you even have the space for it or recall for it? It's just
He doesn't, bro. He doesn't.
I'm a shover.
I was shower.
Have you seen his cloak closet? It's like
Yeah.
literally shoved to the brim.
I can't. No.
I've been trying to do better. I've been trying to do a little bit of purging and like, okay, this scenario will never come up. I will never need this thing. So trying to slowly
What
get
I
rid of
need
some
Kat
stuff.
to do is just start getting rid of stuff and you won't even notice.
Yeah, it's low key like.
But then when that moment comes, I'm like, where is it? I'm furious.
Oh no, you lost it. The moths ate it. I don't know.
Are you sure? Are you sure you had that? I feel like you donated
Yeah,
it
are you
before.
sure? Yeah. Even with clothes, like this might sound crazy, but in my mind, I have allocated a certain amount of clothes hangers because they all match and they're nice clothes hangers. So going along with like don't wear it, throw it away. I will not buy new clothes unless I free up a clothes hanger.
That's kind of how I see it.
That's
too.
a good system.
Yeah.
That's
But,
a good
but I
system.
actually have extra hangers, but I don't want to go in my closet and get it. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is how much perfectly fits in here without it being like,
Yes, exactly. So even
Yeah.
space, I want to just go grab something.
Yeah.
So then whenever I'm like, oh, like I need something new or whatever, I'll go through my closet and be like, what don't I really wear? What's just here? And then I'll take off like one or two things, and I'm like, I can buy 2 new things.
yeah,
now.
that's how I see it too. I'm
was
like,
like,
oh shit. Every
perfect.
time I donate stuff, I'm like, there's so much room for play.
Yeah.
Room for activities now. Or I'll do like something really psycho, which I don't think you guys probably do, but I'll put multiple things on a hanger.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes. It's
Yes.
only with if the thing is kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like I have my dress
Oh.
shirts, and I'm like, oh, I don't have a hanger for this other white dress shirt. I'm gonna put it on the same hanger as the first white dress
I feel
shirt.
like my boyfriend would never do that.
No.
Never.
Yeah, but this is where I'm like reasoning with myself.
'Cause
like,
you
I know
need
I have
to.
a
You
problem
gotta
here.
stuff
I
it.
know I have
That's
a
why.
problem here.
There's no
You don't have
Yeah.
an option. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was only like with suits, but it's like because I can do like this the jacket with the pants in between the thing,
that's
like
like
a
that makes
shirt.
sense. That
Then
makes
I'm like,
sense.
that's normal,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's like usually with suits and stuff is like one clothes hanger off, I'm ready for the wedding or the whatever. But I could never do like a jacket on a t-shirt on like
No,
a pair
no,
of
no,
jeans.
no,
jacket on
no,
t-shirt.
no, no,
That's
no,
crazy.
no,
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 I
no,
like
that's
that.
the same thing, but 2 of them on one hanger.
If it's like the same outfit sort of thing, like a suit is on the same hanger,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense. But
Yeah.
2
Like a
different
matching
things,
set
no,
makes
that's
sense.
crazy.
Imagine like a jacket on like a t-shirt. The guy puts like his jeans and like some socks on there.
Like, can you imagine? There are probably people out there who like hang by outfit.
Hang by
That would be
outfit.
cool.
Oh, you know what I want to do? Like I see a bunch of these ads for apps, and the app is basically
Oh.
you take a picture and it shows the outfit. Then when you're going somewhere, you scroll through like preset outfits. I want that. I feel like that will help me stay organized and then
100%.
pinpoint out the things that don't fit into any outfits. And then I'm like, oh, not gonna wear this, and then get rid of it. So
Interesting.
maybe I'll do a purge and then I'll report back next
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, because they kind of do have an app for that, and I'm just trying to remember the context of it. But I think it's more for shopping, and what it is, it like scans you and then lets
Oh,
and
and
then
it
like when you
tries to
online
buy?
shop, it lets you swipe through the stuff,
Oh,
or
that's
like
awesome.
you can like also choose a filter of like your style, or you can let them know, and then they'll use their catalog and create
That's sick.
outfits for you on top of it, and like that you most likely will like.
Yeah, like my beef with the like outfit making generating ones is I can't sit down and take a picture of every single thing that
Yeah,
I have.
true.
I just can't be doing that. There's
Too
no
much.
way.
But if you
much.
set it up once, then you're rocking for
I know,
like 2 years.
but that would take me a while. I know
Or-
that's the problem is like I'm very bad at doing tasks that I know that I would need to like separate into like different days to complete it. Like I need a task that I can do all at once,
Yeah.
sit down,
Yeah.
do it. And if I can, then like, oh, I just can't do it then.
Yeah. For most of that, I like to doing if it can be completed in one day, done. Or if it's something where it's like it's a lot to do in one day, then I'll just break it up over multiple days. If there's just like it's not stressful or it's not a timeline.
Yeah, but I hate doing that.
Sometimes you have to. Like there's no way
I
you're gonna
know.
like move everything in one day. Or
Yeah,
something,
that's
right?
true,
Then
that's
like
true.
okay, that's fine. Like
2 days
break
max.
it up. 2 days max.
Dude,
Okay.
I cleaned this whole ass apartment and got everything done in 2 days. I was like, that's it. I can't do
It's
it.
impressive.
But
Oh,
actually,
that's
in my head,
impressive.
I thought it was going to take multiple weekends.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm like, I want to be functional by a point, and then everything else I can like, okay. Like if I can change, sleep, and work from one space, that's functional. And then if I know I have like a week to do it, I'll split up the rest throughout the week because it's just like way more manageable than like stressing out over
Right.
2 days.
Yeah, no, I got problems though. Back to your question on like things that really bother you. I think in my previous relationship, they were more like, I would like to say reasonable. Now I'm living with a partner who is like pretty close to me in terms of like type A or organized, clean.
I thought you were going to say he's unreasonable.
No. So now everything that I'm nitpicking is unreasonable now because it's like everything else is met. But my previous relationship, it was like, yo, this dish is still dirty. Like there's still like food on this fucking dish.
Okay,
What's
that's
up
a
with
little
that?
crazy.
I know. And I'd be like, you're fucking like just it's fucking dirty. If I have to clean it again, ooh, you're in big trouble. But now let's just go into my like irrational things because I think that's more interesting, or I guess more interesting. I hate when a closet door is open.
Oh, I like doors closed too.
Yeah, doors closed.
Doors
Door
closed.
open, I'm just like, you're sick. You're sick and you have problems. But
You're
I
gonna
know
let
I
the
have
closet
problems.
monster
That's
come get
actually,
you if you leave it open.
I'm just like, it's collecting more dust. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to see what's in there. Like again, showroom, like just
Showroom.
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
funny because I can admit that, like the showroom thing here. But as soon as my boyfriend says like, oh, like it doesn't look like anyone lives there, I get so offended. I'm like, oh, it is homey, it is cozy, people live here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the biggest compliment. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like, oh, this whole place.
But he says it to other people, trying to like get them to side with him that I'm crazy, right? He's not. It's not like a toxic thing, but like that's what he's doing, and I'm just like, what do you mean? Like my home is so cozy and so like whatever. Because I am trying to get that line, like of like the decor is not too sterile, but everything is sterile. Like everything is.
I want it to be like a TikTok, like a homeroom or like interior design TikTok post. It's like so if I can take a picture of it and put it on, it's the vibe.
Yeah.
It's not about
it
like
belongs on Pinterest.
Yeah.
But no one lives here.
No one lives here. That's what I want. I want like someone to take what I did and you'd be like, I want that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that hits.
That hits. That
One
hits.
thing I'll do, and I don't know why I do it, but it makes me happy a little bit. Whenever I have people over for the first time in my house, like I'm deep cleaning everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they walk in, I'm like, oh, sorry for the mess.
Oh my god, you're one of those. Sorry for the mess.
I'm like, hey, I don't always live like this. I'm so sorry. And there's not a speck of dust anywhere.
Sean's like sweating bullets. Like
I'm just like
an
stress
hour
cleaning.
before.
I'm thinking like 4 days before they come over. I'm like, I gotta get this place head to toe.
Things are like actually squeaky.
Yeah,
He's just like, oh,
He purposely leaves like one thing like unadjusted. He's like, oh, sorry. The place is a mess.
Sorry, this place is a mess. So sorry. That's so funny.
I'll do it like almost every time.
Actually, like I can vividly remember one time, I think maybe, I don't know if you were coming here just to hang out or if it was for a podcast thing, but I was like, oh, I haven't vacuumed in a while or like I haven't cleaned up in a while. So just like don't look too closely at anything. And Shaun said, and I still remember this so clearly because it touched my heart. He was like, I don't think I've ever seen your place dirty. And I was like,
Ooh.
I didn't react, but I was like,
You're like, yes, we did it.
and I was like,
What if Sam was just pulling the same thing that you did? She was like vacuuming crazy. She's like, sorry guys,
Fucking
still
sorry,
look,
guys.
it's
still looks you
just
close.
been
You
like-
know?
Let myself go this week,
It's been so busy. I
you know,
just couldn't.
sometimes life just gets to you. know?
Yeah,
It's just
you
like-
know.
No, I think one of the most respectful things someone could do is just be clean. And
100%.
especially if you're inviting them to your space. Like if you invite me over and your space is disgusting,
And the thing is, I will
just like,
clock it. I will clock
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
If I'm like going to the bathroom and I'm like, this window's not clean in
Yeah.
here, I'll be like, damn, you don't care about me?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Call me vain. I care that you care. You know, like I
Yes.
care about what you think.
For sure.
Even though people are like,
This
you
is
should live a-
optics, baby.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I want
This
you
is
to
a
think
show.
that I am clean.
Yes.
Because I believe I am clean.
Yeah.
it just like comes into like, it almost feels like an extension of personal hygiene.
Oh, yeah.
It's
For
like,
sure.
this is my space.
Yes.
And even if I smell clean and my house smells like shit, like I'm just like,
No,
ugh.
then I'm not clean.
Yeah.
Then I'm
Yeah,
a bit
yeah.
dirty. Like,
You know,
it's just not.
It's like the saying that like you can tell how clean a restaurant is by their washroom.
Yes.
That feels like that. You can tell how clean someone is by their house.
For sure.
It's just the same thing. Just like how they treat this, it's gonna how they treat everything.
Everyone can shower, okay?
Anyone can shower. But you
Or
come.
can you crawl inside your washing machine and scrub it? I don't know.
Can you scrub the grout in between the tiles?
Literally.
And fucking make sure that shit is white? Ooh.
No, I can't. Me and my boyfriend went to go visit Shaun at work, and right before we got there, he was like cleaning these little like holes in the table with a toothpick. He was like scraping out like the gunk from the holes, and I was like, Shaun, it's us. It's me and your friend.
It's just a reflection. I'm like inviting
Sure.
you into my home. I'm like, it's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. It was so nice, but I was like, not necessary.
Yeah. But going back when you were talking about like the two tiers,
Unreasonable. Oh,
like it was like either like organized versus not. I this goes back to one of our other friends talking about it. I think guys we're just macro cleaners.
Yeah.
So like that goes with the organizations outside, and girls are usually like detail cleaners. Like they'll do like a lot of the fine stuff. Where ultimately, like I would like to say, like it's you kind of have need the best of both worlds. I'm like a macro cleaner on the daily, and then my designated day is micro cleaning.
right.
But I can't micro
I think
clean
the
every day.
problem,
That's too much.
the problem with a micro cleaner is they're also a macro cleaner, right? Because like they see everything, so it's like
True.
they're kind of doing both, and then that makes it look like the macro cleaner is not doing as much, and that's not on the macro cleaner. Micro cleaners are crazy. I identify as crazy, like and it's taken me a long time to get there. Because when I lived with my previous partner, I was like, I'm literally perfect, and you are the problem. And now I'm like, wow, I'm deeply, deeply wounded. Like there's something seriously wrong.
demons.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
So Ivan, how long have you lived with your roommates now?
It's 2 years now.
So going into the new place, how are you going to split the like division of duties? Like, is that something that just naturally happens? Is it something you discuss?
It kind of carried over with what we did at our old place, and it's the same thing where like I think everyone's very clean, but me and one roommate, we're both dudes. We're like very heavily macro, and then my other roommate, as a girl, she does a lot, like the micro stuff, and it's just naturally happened where like I'll usually do like very general, so like I'll do a lot of like the garbage recycling or like wipe down tabletops or like if I'm not like a these are my dishes, wash my dishes. Like if I see dishes, I'm wash all the
wash
dishes,
everything.
right? Like it's just what it is. And like I'll macro all my own stuff. Like you don't have to touch my washroom, don't touch my room, right? But then the girl, like my girl roommate, she'll do like the micro stuff. She gets into like the mopping and the little stuff, or she'll get like little nooks and crannies. And like sometimes I'll do that if she has already done it, but she's just really on top of the ball, or her schedule works out better. So that's usually how we split it. We just like, yeah. So like she'll never like probably ever throw out the garbage or whatever, or compost because she does the other stuff, and then me and the other guy will probably split it or do whatever.
Yeah.
But that's usually how we go about it.
Nice. I'm like the
Yeah.
big projects and big cleaning tasks. Like if there's any like pseudo renovations or home improvements, I'll always be the one that usually like builds or takes those on.
Yeah.
And then deep cleaning, I'm usually the super deep cleaner.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Catherine she's at home more, so I feel like she's doing like the macro cleaning more
Macro
because she's
cleaning,
more
fair.
at home more.
Yeah. I feel like because I'm not actually at home as much. So like that's probably why I never catch the micro stuff. I do
Yeah.
have micro stuff for my own like washroom and room because like I tell them
You're
not to
in
do
it,
it, so I'll
so-
have time to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I do also like a lot of the home reno stuff, but that's just because I don't know. I'm just like I did trades
They're
before.
boy jobs, you
yeah,
know?
boy jobs. Yeah,
That's
like,
how I coin them.
Yeah.
That's how we
Put the
coin them in
exact
this
there.
household. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a boy job. Garbage, boy job. Deep cleaning, all the gross gunky shit, boy job. But the way me and my boyfriend did it, we kind of had a couple conversations about cleaning. I was like, first, are you the type of person who like cleans when it's dirty, or you clean regularly so it never gets dirty, or like truly dirty,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which one are you?
I just clean so it never gets dirty.
Yeah, same.
Like it's like instead of doing, it's like feels so much harder to clean something that's been 2 or 3 weeks dirty,
Dude.
versus you do it like, when it's only like a week max.
For
That's
sure.
like light
It's just
work.
like routine. Yeah,
You're
I'm
just
just
like,
like a little wipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
exactly.
to pristine.
Back
like
to pristine.
everything's perfect.
Yeah, you're bringing
I
90
agree.
to 100 versus like 30 to 100,
Yes,
you know?
yes, and like putting your back into it.
you're
I'm
like,
like,
oh,
no.
I fucked
What is cake time?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
So anyways, he identifies more as someone who cleans when he starts noticing that it's dirty versus being like, I clean every Saturday. And I was like, okay, the compromise is like, which doesn't sound like a compromise, but I swear it is. I was like, the compromise is we will clean one day every week because there is no chance on this planet Earth that we have the same threshold for when things start to look dirty.
Yeah,
Like, there's just
100%.
no way. Like,
No way.
it's just, I will always probably think that things are dirty before you do. And I don't want to be the one that's like, we should clean now. So I was like, it just makes sense that we do it on a specific day so we never have to deal with that. Anyway. And then the way we divide chores besides like the boy jobs and everything else is I think there's like a specific 2 chores that you should start with in my mind. I'm like dusting and vacuuming kind of go together because like you're getting all the dust up and then you vacuum everything after. So I'm like, those are like the 2 starting jobs. So I take one, he takes the other. And then everything after that is like whoever finishes first does the next whatever. And like you just go through the list. There's not like after the dusting and mopping, like I always do one thing and he always does the other thing. It's like, what do you feel like that day? After you finish your task, go do the next thing until everything is done on the list.
Yeah.
So we always have the same
Interesting.
starting chore.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then whatever else you want after.
What's your organization style? I'm curious because I was like, oh, I realized I do a little differently, but I want to hear yours next.
Mine's similar, but a little bit different. There's jobs that go both ways. So like dusting and vacuuming are both, that's just like whoever notices it first. Mopping, for some reason, is never me. I've actually never mopped in my house. That's always
I
my
doubt
girlfriend.
my boyfriend will ever mop. I think it's gonna
Yeah,
be me.
so that's
as well.
always
You need
her,
the
which
right
I
mop.
appreciate. Bathrooms is always me. Garbage is
Yeah.
always me. I'm happy to do that. Dishes is the one area for some reason where we clash because we have different schedules, right? So sometimes when we're in our lazy modes, that's when the other person has nothing to do. So for example, when Catherine's at work, she's just working from home and then she goes to her office and then she'll grab a snack, leave it in the sink, and then she'll definitely do it later. But then I get to it first because I wake up and I'm looking, I'm like, where are these dishes from?
That happened a lot in my previous relationship too,
Yeah.
because we also were like on opposite schedules where he was waking up way earlier and then he would have to leave super early. And like if I had to wake up that early in the morning, the last thing I'd be doing is spending 5 minutes cleaning up everything. I just leave it in the sink. But then
Yeah.
I get up and I'm like, oh, this bitch left me a sink full of dirty dishes. Did he?
But then I'll go the same way because then I'm awake really late because I work late, and then maybe I might leave one bowl in the sink or maybe like a couple bowls, and then Catherine will wake up and then she'll just be like, "What the fuck is the dishes there?" So we're both the same way to each other, even though it's the same
Cycle,
thing. It's the
yeah.
exact same thing. It's just flipped a little bit.
Yeah.
But one thing with dishes as well, Catherine loves to use spoons. Spoon is
Oh my
like
God,
the
we were just
preferred
talking about this.
utensil.
Yeah.
So she'll always use spoons, but whenever she's making something, and she loves just sauce on anything, so she'll usually make a sauce out of like a couple different ingredients, but every single time she'll get a new ingredient, it's a new spoon.
That's crazy.
It's a new, so she's going through, we have 8 spoons in the house. We have 4 big spoons and we got 4 small
That's
spoons.
it? Oh, I only give you a set
Well,
of 4.
it seems like a natural amount of spoons.
That's
I have a lot.
But I can say
Nah.
90% of the time, if I open the drawer to get cutlery, no spoons. The spoons, because Catherine also doesn't like to, she doesn't believe in drying the dishes. She thinks it's adding extra work, whereas me, I'm like, okay, show home ready. I need everything to be away, then the task is done.
Right.
So she will wash all the spoons and then leave them there, and then I'll go into the drawer. I'm like, where are the spoons?
Might be an Asian household thing. I do that too. It's like I don't hand dry. I just let them sit there and dry, and then I'll just usually. Once again, I live a little crazy, so I like to use the same pan, same bowl, and like.
No, I love that. I love that.
Like just like wash it and use it. So usually, like especially when my roommates they go like off on a trip, I don't even put it back because I'm using the same spoon over and over again.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done, wash it, let it dry. And by the time I come back, I'm like, my spoon is dry. My bowl is dry again. Let's go.
Like I can see that. That sounds perfect. But when there's 8 spoons and I
Yeah.
never have one, that's where I'm just like going crazy.
Does she not like? And I don't know. I'm thinking like, is this heinous? But like, for example, let's use like multiple sauces or whatever, right? I will use a spoon and like I won't cross contaminate. So if I use a spoon to like touch meat, I'm just like rinsing it and then using. But like let's say it's like I want jam and peanut butter on my sandwich. I'll go jam with the spoon. Then I'll rinse it under the sink so it's clean, dry it off, and then go into the peanut butter with the same spoon and put it on. And then when I'm done with the spoon, I'll put it away.
I'll do that as well. But
Yeah,
she will get a new utensil each time.
spoon.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I don't know. I don't really dabble with that many sauces.
Or like, do you ever just like try to like reuse the same spoon or whatever? If like
I think I would.
I'll
It's not
reuse it.
necessary.
Unless
I think I would.
if it's gone in my mouth, then I'm like fully washing
Yeah,
it
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Or if it touches meat or something,
Yeah.
then I'll 100% wash it.
Yeah, I'm interesting about the drying thing. It actually doesn't bother me at all to have like a whole pile of things drying there.
Yeah.
But usually because I know it's such a short shelf life. Like actually, because I would say my boyfriend is more likely to pick up the drying towel and start drying things and putting them away, especially big things, which I kind of agree with. Like if they're really big pots and pans, like, and I'm like fucking stacking them on top of each other on my tiny little drying rack. Like I get it, but I would still do that and just be like, oh, okay, we'll just wait until they're fully dry and then put them away. But I would also say the extra layer on top of that is because I'm so like, I'm like so crazy about cleaning while cooking. Honestly, by the time I finish my meal, they're all dry.
all dry.
They're all dry. And I'm like, well, I can put them all away now. And it's
Yeah.
perfect. And like, it only stays there for like a short amount of time. It's not like they're all day. Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. So I want to ask, because based off what you told me about you and Kath and like you and your previous partner, now are you guys like, yeah, I guess if you eat, let's say you finish eating, right? You cooked, you finish eating. Do you clean then? Or are you like I will clean at night, like before bed?
No, dude.
Like, especially if you're maybe, let's say your day's a little busy, you know, we can add that factor.
Oh,
in.
okay.
Yeah. Or do you like, even if my day is busy, I'm going to spend the extra time to like, once I'm done eating and cooking, I'm going to clean it. And then I'll like kick it to whatever I gotta go to.
If I'm cooking, I'll be finished cleaning and cooking basically at the same time.
Yeah.
And then if it's like a sit down dinner, it'll be like clean right away. It's only when it's like kind of like a late night snack and I have like one bowl, then I'll leave it and I might just like put the bowl in the sink and flood it with water and then go to sleep.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like honestly, I'm really only cooking for dinner. Like every other meal, it's either something that's like on one plate or like in a leftover dish or something. And that's when I feel less pressure to like clean it right away. Like maybe I'll be eating it at my desk and it'll just like sit by my desk. And then when I have time, I'll pick it up and put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
But dinner, like there's no world in which I'm just like leaving the plates and like going to watch TV and then like dealing with that later. There's no, for me, I'm like, let's get everything done so I can just fully relax for the rest of the night and it's going to be amazing. The only time I can do that is when I know it's my boyfriend's turn to clean. I'm like, go ahead, leave it there.
Okay.
But then he always regrets it. He always gets up and is like, oh my God, I don't want to do it. Because he's like sunken into the couch. Everything's gotten all cozy and stuff. He gets up, sees all these dishes. I'm like,
You did this
you
to
just
yourself,
took,
partner.
yeah. And I don't say anything. I'm like, oh, whatever you
Okay.
want.
So aside from like the negatives and crazies that we talked about, what are you most excited about with your partner moving in now?
Well, I was kind of mentioning it earlier. Like, I feel like I have so much free time. Like, I feel like the time of us not living together, but spending a lot of time together, which is also a reason why I feel like we. I know. I was like, okay, am I thirsty too? The time like before we moved in with each other, like we were spending a lot of time here, which also is why he moved in, because I was like, oh, I can kind of envision you living here. But with that, you're so like concerned with spending every second with your partner when they're here if they don't live with you, because you're like, oh, I gotta spend time with you. So like all my routine went out the window. Like there was just I wasn't prioritizing anything else. I was having a good time, but like honestly wasn't really working out that much. I wasn't like cooking as much as I want to. Wasn't like doing my normal daily chores and tasks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was the same for him. He was like constantly here. He never like had a routine back at home. He was constantly going back and forth. So I feel like now we're starting to be like, wow, like we have so much free time to do stuff. Like I'm not feeling guilty for not spending every second with you because I know you're going to still be here when I come back.
Yeah.
Like I still remember the first time it was the first weekend that he was officially living here and he was like helping, his dad came over to help build some stuff. And I was like, I'm going to go down to the gym came back up, took a shower. He's still here. I'm like, wow,
This
you're
is
just
great.
here forever.
Yeah.
Like, that's so nice. And just like having someone help you with literally anything is so nice.
Feels so nice.
Like, I've lived alone now for almost 2 years.
Oh,
year
has
and
it?
a half- yeah, just under 2 years. And like, damn, man, like you just have to do everything. I'm like, can a brother get a breakup in here? Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
actually no. I'm like, holy fuck, I know I'm an independent woman, but that was too independent. I was like, I just want one person to help me.
I just want to be baby.
Literally,
crazy.
I was
I
like, for once, I just
kind of like
want
doing
you.
it by myself.
Yeah, I guess.
Because
know.
you've been
You
now
ha-
with your roommates for how long, you said?
For 2 years. But then even before that, when I was living in my old place, it was pretty much just me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about where it's like, I was like doing it all. I feel like I hit like a workflow state. I kind of like it.
I did like it for like most of it. And then it got to the very tail end and I was like, holy shit. Wouldn't it be so great if someone else took out the trash today? Like, that would be crazy.
I guess
I'm
it's like two polar sides
yeah,
of the
like
spectrum, right?
everything. And just like being, on one hand, it was like, oh, this is amazing. I can do literally whatever I want. I'm not accountable to anyone. But then
Yeah.
I was also like, anything that happens here is my fault. Like,
fair,
if
fair.
I don't go grocery shopping and I starve, it's my fault. Like, there's
Okay.
no one else to blame but me.
Like, open
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fridge, there's nothing. You're
I'm like,
like,
fuck, I
do
did
it
it
again.
again.
You did it again.
Did it again. Damn it.
Because why I like doing things, I like that accountability on myself. Because living with people, and I think like between me and my roommates, we've gotten to a point where like I think we're all in a good, healthy space of like, yeah, we all contribute our part. But I like knowing if it's just me, it's my own accountability because I don't have to deal with this mental like game of like, did I do enough? Am I a bad roommate?
Yeah.
So I just know if I do it myself, I'm like, I can only be mad at myself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I kind of like that versus like, I'm like, oh, what if they're like,
And it's
kinda mad
just
at
like
you.
a no judgment zone.
No
I'm
judgment
like, I'm
zone.
out here and I ordered Uber Eats for the 7th time this week and nobody is going to judge me for
Bro,
it
this-
because it's just me, myself, and I and my bank account. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There's nothing more liberating scrubbing your washroom down just in your boxers. I'm just like, I'm in there, I'm just like, yeah.
to be fair with your partner, you could also do that. Roommate
guess.
situation,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah,
is like
true,
a
true,
little
true,
different.
True,
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, this is nice.
I have like a newfound, and maybe this will get tiring later, but like a newfound motivation to like do things because I think I don't want my partner to think I'm just like sitting there doing fucking nothing. But on the bright, it's also like suddenly I have this like energy to do all these things that I've been putting off for the longest time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna get old at some point, but right now I'm like, oh, damn, I can do more things. I've just been a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
One weird thing. So I think in my relationship and in our household, both of us are hypercritical of each other if we see the other person doing nothing.
Slacking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For some reason, it's like, oh, if I'm
That's
like
so Asian
sleeping in
household.
and I'm like doing nothing, my girlfriend kind of disrupts me, like, hey, still sleeping, huh? And then same thing, like if my girlfriend has like a long weekend or something, I see her, I'm like, oh, 8 episodes in, huh? When did you start that series?
That must be real good.
Today? Oh, okay.
Sounds like petty ass
so
household.
we're trying to get used to it. We're trying to get used to it because I think the rot days are so important.
Yes.
And it also helps you reset. But for some reason, in our minds, I guess we're thinking of like, oh, but I have to do this thing. Why can't
Yes.
you do it? You got
Yeah,
some
yeah.
time. But
Different
it's like an
schedules,
acceptance.
different routines, yeah.
We're trying to work on that. We're trying to work on that.
As soon as you said that, it made me think of like this one meme, not a video, not even a meme, it's just a video. And it's like, so pretty much this girlfriend like got a PI to investigate on her boyfriend because she thought he was cheating on her.
Whoa.
Because he would be like, I'm going to hang out with the boys and do whatever. But the PI investigated him, and it turns out he would just go to the food court, eat a meal, and watch a video by himself and just do like the things he wanted to do. And she's like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Crazy.
So the cops are like, he's not cheating on you. He's just like literally like sitting in the food court eating like his meal.
just a weirdo.
Watching and no, but I think it's because
Yeah.
like it's like she's probably hounding him
Yeah,
at home or like
probably.
giving him
Yeah.
trouble.
For
He's
sure.
like just once a week, I just want to be able to like eat my manchu walk three item and just watch some anime or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like if I lived with you and that's how you're doing, like oh Ivan, you've been sitting and watch 8 episodes. I'm like, oh man, I gotta go to work today. I'm just doing an 8-hour shift.
You're
Exactly.
walking around the block 17
Yeah,
times. And you
it's
come
like, I
back,
don't
you're
wanna
like,
hear it.
ooh, hard day. Hard day.
I'm gonna use my data, just sit in a park and watch something just so I have peace of mind.
Sometimes I kind of feel like that's how my boyfriend feels when he has to go to work every day and I like walk from there to there, and I like kind of, and then I sit on the couch and I'm like, oh my God, I got another meeting. Like, I feel like that's the vibe. Even though, because we have just such different natures of work.
Yeah.
And like nobody is working. I mean, he might be working harder than me. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes. And other times, you know, maybe he's slacking a little bit and I'm like busy. But I feel like optically, like this bitch is like getting up, putting on his clothes, getting to work, has to like be on all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, my first meeting doesn't start until 10:30.
He's like tying up his tie.
No,
So
work
I'm
here,
like,
same
let me
here.
scroll on some TikToks while I wait for my meeting to start.
Yeah,
Work
that's the
from
same
home
dynamic.
is a fucking. I'm not gonna say y'all don't work hard. It's like work from
Hey.
home. It's just when you
We
have
work
to hit
smarter.
the engine. You have to
Okay.
hit the engine.
Yeah.
But my God, it looks like a joke sometimes. Sometimes I have a day off and my roommates they both work from home. I'm like, bro, y'all even working.
Also, yeah,
Like,
just
it's
in
crazy.
general, like he obviously works like a guest-facing job.
Yeah.
Like when you go, you're there. Like I go to an office, I can leave anytime I want. Like and no one is like waiting for me to serve them or like do anything. I'm like, I showed face. I attended a few meetings. Oh, it's 2? I gotta go home, guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
take this from home.
It's like project deadlines instead
Yeah.
of something
Yeah.
always has to be
For
done.
sure.
Yeah.
But they also did a study too, where like those people who used to work from home, like during COVID, and like it was a whole
terrible.
thing. They did statistically see that like the working in the office actually does create more productivity, and it's not because it's like the work has changed. It's because when you work from home, people will designate a little bit of time to like, oh, I got time to do like some laundry or like do random stuff. While that extra time that you're not doing that in the office, so they might as well just work.
Yeah.
Or like try to be more productive.
Okay, corporate Ivan.
Yeah.
I
You
go to
think
the
you
office.
know?
I don't even know. Okay.
Yeah, true. Well, like if I got to do it, everybody's got to do it.
I gotta go in every time. Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten those perks yet. Maybe
saw
my
that,
mind will change.
I saw that Korea is testing out 4-day work weeks
Oh,
because I know a lot of
dream.
places in Europe are doing it.
Toronto too.
And if I could do a 4-day work week, just
I'd
like
be a
10
fucking
on,
better
3 off.
person.
Oh man.
Holy shit.
Game. See, it's getting to work is hard, but if you're locked in, it's like going to the gym. Once you're there, you're doing.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
this is easy.
Yeah.
For me,
2 more hours.
Yeah, and also like, if it's a work day, it's already a work day to me. It's already been
Yeah.
coined a work day. Nothing else is happening today anyway.
Yeah.
Today I worked. I might as well work from the time I open my eyes to the to
time
when
I
I
close
close
it.
it.
Exactly.
There's nothing else.
Yep.
There's like literally
Yep.
nothing else. Maybe we film a podcast episode and we like peel our eyes open
Yeah.
to do it. But if I could just work and have a whole other day off, well, we could
Whoa.
film 20 episodes in a day.
30. You guys, please sign
Yeah,
the petition
subscribe,
in the
subscribe.
description down below if you want more episodes.
You're going to get season 3, 4, 5 all at once all of a sudden.
Yeah. But you know, it was like going back to what we were talking about before about how like we were just talking about like dinners and like how we like to operate, but we're talking about how like I like to get everything done 1st and then eat, because to like eat is almost like a reward. And that's how I treat a lot of things in life, where I like to do everything and then sit down.
Yeah.
Because nothing feels worse than doing a little bit, sit down, get
For
comfortable,
sure.
and then get back
Yeah.
up again.
Yeah,
and
for
that's the
sure.
same thing of like work. It's like I'm up.
I'm up.
Because I don't want to have like a day where it's like, okay, it's my day off. Like I do a little bit of things and then I get in bed and do a little bit of things. It doesn't feel good.
For sure.
It doesn't feel good.
So yeah, same thing with like a weekend, right? Like
Yeah.
if I have like a few tasks to do on a Saturday and then a few on a Sunday, like what weekend was that?
It wasn't-
wasn't
yeah.
a weekend. I'd
Yeah.
rather have like one day I do everything and then have like full days to do
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
play activities.
Yeah.
Like I was on my Fridays, even though I get off work late sometimes, I'll try to do everything on my Friday night so that my Saturday, Sunday is just
Clear.
Yeah.
waste.
Clear
You know, I can
schedule.
do whatever I want.
Totally.
Yeah.
It just feels like a nice refresh.
It feels so good. Yeah, because like Shaun and I historically we've always worked like very mixed schedules throughout like our careers or like working life. And it's like you might have 2 days off in the week, but if they're not stacked together,
Ugh,
those days don't feel like
Yeah,
days
it's
off. You might do like one day, like you use one of those days to do all your things because you have to, but that last day, like that's like maybe 3 days later, and you do it, you're like, I hate this.
You
Yeah.
blink and your weekend's
It's
gone.
gone.
If it's one day.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's not real, you know?
Yeah, it's not real.
So that
It's an elongated lunch.
Yeah, elongated
Like,
lunch.
oh,
I'm off for recess.
Yeah. I just slacking, and then I go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 3 days off, game changer. It's like one day, duties, 2 days of rest.
I wonder if they like don't do that because you'd have so much extra time and energy to pursue things that are not your like normal 9 to 5, and then you would quit.
You just quit. Like,
You'd be like, "Oh, I just started my new business."
You gotta keep the people down.
Yeah, right? They're like, "We got to keep you locked in,
Yeah.
so
I
you don't
also
have any
wonder-
other time."
I also wonder if because like a 4-day work week setup, right? And then now the extra like rise and grinders are gonna do that 10-day work day or 10-hour work days, and then they're gonna do an extra one, which is then gonna become the new normal, and then it's just like a 9 to 7, like 5 days a week.
Jesus.
We just added on 2 hours
Nah.
anyways.
Nah. I mean, I don't need to be a hustle like that. But I
Because
mean,
there's still got to be a law. There's still got to be like you have to work
true.
40
Sure.
hours.
40 hours.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
But
I don't know
can
if people like care about
you
that.
probably work more at another job.
Yeah,
though.
you could do another
That's
job.
true,
Yeah.
that's true.
So like, if that's your choice, or you want to start doing your little small business, that's your prerogative.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But I'm happy with my 4 days of time. Would you guys rather have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
It honestly doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
Those are the same.
I kind of like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Dude, I get like Tuesday, Wednesday off, so both of those combinations are amazing.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I would prefer a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but realistically, your Saturday would just become Friday. Like it's the same.
It's the same, but I guess like in my mind, like locked in,
yeah.
like Friday just feels fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
have it
even
off.
what actually might be nice is if you had one during the middle. Like imagine if you had like
Oh.
a Tuesday off and then you still have your Saturday, Sunday.
Sundays?
Because
You're
then
only
nothing's
working
ever
2
a long
days.
nothing's ever a long streak.
That's true.
It's like
Yeah.
2 break 2 and then you go off.
I
Sometimes
feel like
that
it'd be
break
really
is nice.
hard, like project wise, to get things done. Like, oh, it's due. Oh, everyone's off tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Thursday
yeah.
we'll come back.
Yeah. If everyone had like their choice, that'd be so hard to plan corporately. They'd be like, so what day does Jimmy have
I'm
off
just
again?
like, shit, man. Like, okay, who's his proxy for this one day?
Like, God damn it.
All right.
Why does everyone take Thursdays off? What's going on here?
Should I take Thursdays off?
Yeah. Are they having fun on Thursdays? What's going on
Yeah.
Thursdays, guys? That'd be so funny. Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
want to know if you guys have any like weird living things that like if you see it, it'll drive you fucking crazy. Besides the dish.
And the
Pretty light with
spoons.
dish. Even with dishes, I'm like I don't like the dish or the sink, sorry, being dirty before I go to bed. So I'll do it one clean, but also like
That
throughout
stuff
my
at the bottom of the sink.
Yeah.
kills me.
yeah. I just like being
But
clean.
that seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
I don't love seeing like the fingerprints on the button of the microwave.
You love?
I don't like
Oh,
it.
you don't like? I'm like, oh, that's weird.
But I also don't like fingerprints on any stainless steel surface, which is really unfortunate. And actually, that also goes to mirrors. If I see like a speck of anything on a mirror, it's game over.
Yeah. I think one thing that drives me absolutely nuts, and this my partner's kryptonite is putting things away. So I'm the type of person where I get home from vacation. I don't sit down, lie down until my entire luggage is dealt with, put away, everything's exactly back, so I can just like keep on living the next day.
Yeah.
My partner suitcase out for like
Nah.
a unreasonably long time. But that's like the one thing. She's so tidy and everything
Yes.
else. She can clean everything else. But it's just putting things away. Like laundry, because I'll always do the laundry. And then I leave it there. And I'll leave it on the drying rack. And then I know it's dry.
Yeah.
And then I'll make a little pile somewhere else. And then I know it's still ready. And then I'll have to move her pile onto the bed
Oh,
for
this
her
is
to...
her clothes. I was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Damn.
just putting things away. Because she'll have her piles out, whereas like I stuff them somewhere. But that's usually like my junk and stuff I don't
Yeah,
need.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas the things I'm using, they need to like return to their
Yeah.
homes.
Yeah, I got weird stuff like because like if I have a bunch of stuff in the dryer and it's dry, I could leave it in there for a while.
Oh,
I
well, it's
could.
for a while.
I won't do it anymore
Yeah.
because I have a partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I would leave it in there for like a day.
No, I can't do a day. Maybe like if you sometimes you gotta like tactically dry because you know you're gonna do something, and then so when you come home at night, then it's dry, then you can put it away. Like I can understand that.
No. I go.
You just let it
I
rock
go
in a day?
No, I go a step further. I'll start taking things out to wear them.
Oh, that's the worst.
And the thing is,
It's just wrinkly.
that's so off. No, they're all like undergarments.
Oh,
Like socks, underwear, like that kind of stuff. So I'm like,
But
I'll
that's
pull in there,
like
get a
two
new-
handfuls and then drawer.
yeah.
No, because in there's like sport. You don't understand. My closet, like you'd have to like put some stuff here. Like it's just too much. It's too much.
I hate
I get
that.
No,
overwhelmed.
I hate
that so
I feel
much.
like those are the things because that seems really off-brand from everything I've said before. Like I want everything to be showroom ready and stuff. But I think I choose very small things that I could hide to like trick myself into thinking I'm like relaxed. I'm like, I don't need control over everything.
Okay.
Like I could have something that's like a little crazy.
No, that's not worth it. That was not worth it.
I guess
That was not worth it.
that's like the drying rack of the clothes world, you know, like for like dishes.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's like a different version of the guy chair. You know the guy chair, like the guy chair.
But it's
yeah,
in
the
a
doom pile.
The doom pile.
It's in an enclosed thing.
If I can't see it, he can't see
Exactly.
me.
I'm like, it's okay.
I think I
It's in
realized
there.
why I'm like crazy about that because I work in a restaurant and constantly
Yeah.
I'm always just moving things to where they go. So if
Yeah.
I go home and I have to do that, I feel like I'm
That's
still
fair.
in work mode.
Yeah.
Which is why I go crazy with that. Yeah. There's like this one, it's like this little bin that Catherine keeps in her car. And then when we're on
I have
trips,
that
she'll
too.
bring it. But then she'll leave it in the apartment and then forget to bring it down to the car for a while. And I just keep looking at this bin. And then I'll look over her. I'm like, bin's still here? And she's like, oh, I know.
I'm so silly.
Yeah.
So silly.
It's funny. It's
You're like it's so funny.
If you ever fucking do it, I said that bin one more time.
no, but I would love to hear her speak because I'm sure there's so many more things that I do that she could just go on about. So I'm interested to see.
Yeah,
I'd be
no.
curious to see what my side of that is. Yeah, because I probably have some fucking annoying things.
Yeah.
Well, I need you to tell the story of the soundproofing.
Oh,
Oh yes. That is a
Soundproofing was
story.
So funny.
okay. The soundproofing, it comes from like a nice, heartfelt feeling, right? So in my place where we live, our big main area where we host and have friends over is attached to just by one wall, the bedroom that we both sleep in. So I have friends over later because my work schedule is later, so naturally people are just hanging out. And all my friends are fucking loud.
And you're loud.
And I'm super loud. So I've like I have a couple friends where their voice just registers and just goes through all the walls, and you
sure.
can just hear them as if you're right next to them.
That's just us, bro.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how we operate.
So I'm like, okay, like I want to have friends over, live my life, but I want to be respectful to her living space. So I'm like, oh, I can just soundproof the apartment, right? That's such a good idea. So I buy this like nice like audio like soundproofing board, and then I bought like seal strips around for like the door frame, and then there's a strip that goes under, so like no sound can pass through. But then I'm also thinking like, oh, okay, we probably don't want to see all the soundproofing board just from the living room because it's gonna look ugly. So I talked about this with my partner. I'm like, okay, I'll soundproof the other side of the door. Because then, like the inside of the bedroom, because then it'll still be on that same wall. It'll still work, right? So I go and I spend like $100-something on all this stuff, and I soundproof it all nice. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I've nailed it. I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna have some friends over. We're gonna have a good time. She's gonna get a great sleep.
Yeah.
So this stacks on my other problem of I'm really bad at checking my phone when I'm with people. And she's in bed trying to sleep. And she's trying to call me because apparently we're being too loud still. And she can hear everything through the soundproofing board because it's installed on the wrong side of the door. Anyway, she's calling my phone. I'm not picking up. So she just starts yelling from inside the bedroom. She's like, Shaun, Shaun, Shaun.
All you hear the other guys.
So we realized that now because the soundproofing is inside the bedroom, I can't hear anything that she says, and I'm just out there being loud as fuck.
I mean,
And then she's like, Shaun!
in my mind, that's solution
Yeah,
solved. That's problem solved.
You fixed it. You
I can't hear her
complaints.
complain anymore.
So I
So
soundproofed-
everything is good.
So I soundproofed the fucking inside of the room, and it did nothing, and she can
And
still
now
hear
she
everything.
can't. She can't let him know.
And the worst thing is because there's a strip under the door. Whenever I go to bed later on, I'll open the door, but the strip drags along the floor, and then it wakes her up when she's sleeping. She'll be like, because it's like a shh.
Yeah.
So it actually is net negative.
It's actually waking her up more.
yeah,
I realize, is it still there?
it's still there.
Why
It's
did
still-
she remove it now?
I still think it helps
Slightly.
some. Yeah, like it helps like maybe like 30%, but then it's like the 30% is negated by it making sound when I open it to go to sleep.
Well, yeah, and then his solve is he'll just sleep outside instead of getting into his bed. The amount
And
of
she
times
wakes up, she's like, why the fuck are you
Yeah,
out
the
here?
amount of times she wakes up the next day and takes a picture being like, Shaun is sleeping on the couch.
Oh yeah, when I come home super late and I've been like hanging out or like drinking, then I'll go in go into the bedroom, like noisily take off all my jewelry, and then like kiss her on the forehead. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? But then I'm also drunk, so then I'm like, oh, I don't want to wake her up. So then I'll leave the room.
She's
and
wide
then,
awake. You're
and
like,
then go to the
"Good night."
couch, and then I'll just be on my phone, get ready for sleep, and then I'll like fall asleep there. And then she wakes up, and she's like, why the fuck did you wake me up? And then go to the couch. And I'm like, I was being so thoughtful.
I'm
You
dead.
look so good. You know what's funnier? It's when those photos happen and like one of their friends crash at your place, but you do that same thing, but instead of sleeping on the couch because a friend is sitting there, you're on the floor.
Literally.
So she's like, you not only woke me up, you don't take the couch, you take the floor. Like,
Perfectly good bed over here.
Because that's like you know, like sleepover energy
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
younger,
I
and it's
got
like,
it.
oh, we're just gonna sleep out, we're gonna hang out, we're all hanging out in this room, we're falling asleep. So I had that in my mind. So then I never thought to just go and walk 1 foot, open the door, and sleep in my bed. I was just like, floor's pretty comfy.
Sleepover, sleeper party.
As a guy, I respect that.
Yeah,
I would do the same.
There's like camaraderie
There's
about
camaraderie.
it, you know?
For sure, I guess.
No. There's like this theory where I talk with the guy who makes our thumbnails, Vincent.
Shout out.
Oh.
There's shout out to Vincent. He's been talking about like we never shout him out, so shout out Vincent.
Oh shit! Shout out, man.
But there's something where like I like the concept of living bummy with your bros. It's like there's something so janky about it, especially like back in the day when we used to travel, we used to be on a budget. So we'd take like the cheapest Airbnb or whatever, and it's just like 4 dudes, 1 bed. Like,
Damn.
But I like that energy of like, oh, we're all here, we sleep on the couch, we're all drunk.
It's like a hostile bromance.
Yeah, I love that energy. So
Yeah.
like, to do
can't
that,
relate at
it's
all.
so good. No, this is like niche guy things.
Yeah, that's some.
This is
good
where I'm
shit
like,
right
oh,
there.
we got a lawn chair and a TV on the ground. Let's go. There's something so wholesome about it.
You know when you've been around each other for too long and everyone, their humor starts getting really stupid?
Yeah.
It's just like that all the way until you need to sleep. And then you wake up and it's like still that. It hasn't reset.
Still going.
Yeah.
Hyper.
Yeah. No, part of my wish, and it might be a little too late at our age, at least once. I've been dreaming about this for so long. I want like just us to live in like one giant mansion, and like as a bunch of dudes are mixed, just for like 6 months.
6 months.
Like that imagine like an 8-bedroom super mansion, and as a friend group we all lived in it, and just
No.
the antics we could get up to. It'd be so fun. It'd be like Love Island, but Love Mansion, but like without the horniness. It'd be so good.
So not Love Island.
No,
Like literally just island.
It just seems like a content house. you
yeah,
know?
like a gamer house. I think
Yeah.
it'd be so fun.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very bro thing where you
Yeah,
think
no.
about that and you're like, wow, that sounds like so much fun. Or then you're like a girl and you're like, wow, that seems like
That
my
sounds
living
like
nightmare.
torture. Like literally when we have our Airbnb cabin trips, I'm like 2 days is my max. That is actually
I'm
my
like,
max.
with the boys, I can do this for a minute.
We're like,
Let's go.
I'm just
I
warming
would
up.
Yeah, whoa.
love to live in an apartment complex where everyone lives on the same floor.
Oh, that'd be
Or
cool
Or like
too.
everyone lives in like the same cul-de-sac or whatever, and you can like your doors are always unlocked and you're just like walking into other people's houses. That sounds great. But just knowing me and my craziness, like no, you don't want to live with me.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I wouldn't subject myself to anybody. Yeah,
I feel
I'm
like
trying.
Right. No, that's you're self-aware.
And you know the
Very
problem
mindful.
is when you try, people can't see what you don't do. So like, I think that's always been my thing with living with partners too. Is like everything you're not doing for the sake of your partner, they don't know you're not doing it because all they can see is what you are doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there like, but you didn't see all the times I really wanted to cuss you out for all these things and I didn't.
You're welcome.
And how do you explain that?
Yeah, you guys would be like,
On Tuesday when you did this, because then you are cussing them out. So
Yeah.
it's
Flip
like,
through the notes app.
yeah, so I'm like,
yeah.
it's a fine line
Yeah,
to
yeah.
balance that.
and almost to like bring that especially that like I could have cussed you out, but I didn't.
I know it's
that's,
like worse.
That's like you
Yeah.
can't
like,
really.
but you're still clocking me.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's not really a good one to be like, I could have really ruined your day.
Yeah.
And I spared you, peasant.
Like the only thing you can say is like you just have to trust that I am doing things.
Yeah, like
And hope for the best
yeah,
with no proof.
no proof.
No proof. Just trust me. Just trust me.
There's
'Cause
more
that one
proof
time
than
you
that
did that thing.
soundproofing Shaun did.
Just sound.
It was such a nice thought.
I've been really trying to think of a
Slower your
workaround.
voice.
Like,
We can't.
Okay.
what if you flip? Because usually the soundproofing, it's the convex or like the grooves that take it. So what if you like flipped it still on that same side and then put it up? Would that still
No,
do it?
I
then the
realize it
grooves
has
wouldn't
to.
hit.
If it bounces to the wall, then it will like hit the wall and like kind of go through.
around.
Whereas the board will just absorb the noise right away.
Yeah, so you gotta.
So I would need to flip it, which I actually could still. It doesn't actually look that bad, but it's just not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Maybe she's learned how to sleep with it now.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, that's a
not
skill
sure.
I've built up. Like all the years we've got Airbnbs as friends, I'm just like friend noises safe.
Dude, yeah, we were talking about this too. Like, you're not a light sleeper, right, Shaun? Oh.
When I'm out, I'm out. Like I've slept through
Dude.
fire alarms before.
That's like
That's-
my partner
I
the
can't do
other
that. I
day.
can't do
Or
that.
yeah, maybe like last week, our fire alarm went off, and it's literally one of those in our like room, like very close. It felt like it was inside my head, and I'm like, oh my god, and I was like literally being like, oh my god, what's going on? This bitch slept a little bit.
That's crazy.
And then the next day I was like, oh my god, how annoying was that fire? Because he did kind of like move a couple times, so I was like, oh, he is experiencing this too. No, I didn't. I was like, hey, how annoying was that a fire alarm? He's like, a fire alarm? I'm
What?
like, oh, you're
There's
done.
a fire?
You're so done.
like sleep through an earthquake.
He would have been dead by the fire. See, like
Well, no, I've got him. So
you have to carry
except
him.
I was just like waiting there, being like, until I see flames, I'm not leaving.
He like pissed you off that night. He's like, I'm going to leave you here.
Yeah, I'm like, bye bye.
Maybe you should learn your lesson. Wipe the microwave.
I don't want to see your stupid fingerprints on the microwave one more time.
You're gonna burn your fingers off now.
Good luck. Yeah. No, for me, it's like if things just sound out of the ordinary, I always wake up. It's like
Right.
that sounds like someone's breaking into my house right now, or like that sounds like a ghost. Then I wake up. But if it's like, oh, that's just Shaun in the living room, I can ignore that. That's safe.
Yeah, you
I'm
got
all about
safe
safety.
sounds.
I'm all about
Yeah,
safety.
yeah,
That's why I can
yeah.
never sleep on public transit
Oh.
because I always feel like I'm just gonna get robbed. So I can't sleep in like a place I don't feel safe.
Yeah.
But that's all that matters to me. Yeah.
I can fall asleep and stay asleep if it's noisy. If I fell asleep while it was noisy,
Oh.
it can't go from silent to noise. Like I will wake up at any slight teensy noise. Like you could be like, and I'm like,
Huh? Hello?
like the amount of times my boyfriend has just like taken a step into the room trying not to wake me up, and I'm like, good morning. And that's my problem too. Is as soon as I'm awake, I'm like, I'm not just awake. I'm like, the day has started. Like we're back.
Oh
That's
god.
how one was like, hello, Starshine.
Yeah,
The Earth
good
says.
morning, Starshine.
The Earth says hello.
That's literally how I greet him. Like he'll come home, like even tonight, like he'll work until maybe midnight, and usually I would already be in bed, if not asleep, by the time he gets home. And then he'll come and like maybe give me a kiss on the forehead, and I'll be like, oh hey, and then he'll like go and. Like maybe I'm like groggy then, he'll go and change, come back, and I'm like, wanna hang out? Like I'm like fully awake. He's like, no. Like this is not. We're trying to calm down. I'm like, well, I just woke up. It's good morning time.
Yeah. That's some. I just imagine
Every time.
Sam's bloodshot eyes, like looking at me. Good
You're gonna love
morning.
me now.
Yeah, we're having fun.
Let's hang out.
It's like don't feed the mogwais, just don't wake the Sam.
One thing that my partner and I really value, she brought it up. She's like, I never wanted us to feel like just roommates. We always want to do like fun, little nice things, little special things. So we started playing the New York Times, all the little games.
Yeah.
Well, almost every night, we missed like maybe one or two in the last like 3 weeks, but we'll just go through all the games together, like the Wordle and the Strands and
We do
the
that
like little
too.
crossword. Yeah. So we
Do you
always
guys
do
do it
that every night.
separately, or
No,
are you
we'll
doing
do it together.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
do
doing
it
it together
together.
also.
Yeah.
I wish I did that. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's
Can we-
okay.
I
It's
can-
okay,
I
buddy.
can. I'm really good with words
we can FaceTime
too.
you. You can do it with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I promise I'm really good at Wordle. I get at least in 3.
Oh,
Dude,
that's
our-
good. That's good.
Yeah, three's good. We do it in the morning, and I would say our entire day is based off of how we do in those games. Like the mood is set for the day based off of how we do those games. Like I don't think I've ever celebrated as hard as me and my boyfriend did when we got Wordle in 2. Like I was just like
That's crazy.
off the chart. Like I was like, let's go! This is amazing. I remember actually one time me and him got into an argument, and then I like have a very hard time falling asleep if I have anything like I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, we resolved the argument, like, good night. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still kind of thinking about it a little bit. Like we resolved it, but I was still thinking about it. So I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't really sleep. And So then we hadn't played our games yet. So I was like, oh, well, he's sleeping. I'm going to play the games. I got Wordle in 2 and I was like, oh man, I don't know.
This is shit.
He's like sleeping and I'm like, holy fuck. This is like, I almost thought I was going to get it in 1 because I got the first 3 letters right. And I was like, this is the best moment of my life.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I can't even celebrate with anyone because he's sleeping.
I'm smarter than you. I'm way smarter than you. Sweet dream. I won this argument.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Literally.
Yeah.
Take it in 4 tomorrow, loser.
Is there a game that you're like really good at comparatively?
I'm better at connections. She is really good at the mini crossword.
What's connections? Sorry.
Connections is there's 16 words, and then they're in groups of 4, and they're on like a 4x4 grid.
Okay.
And you need to pick the 4 that are grouped together. And then once you pick them right, then they'll separate, and then you.
It's like a crossword?
Not like a crossword.
It's like a matching game.
Yeah. Have you ever played Codenames?
Yeah.
So it's
like
like someone says code names. They say so it's this theme for 4, and then each time it's 4, 4, 4, 4.
Okay.
So that I'm better than her. Strands can go either way.
Yeah.
She's really fast
What's
on the mini
strands?
crossword.
Damn, that's impressive.
And then
Strands is
Wordle.
like more of a word search.
Yeah, it's like a word search.
Okay,
And then the other one, what was it? Wordle. Wordle's like a toss up, but we've noticed that it's always feast or famine. There's one person who's always like super sharp that day, and they're usually sweeping at least like 3-1, and then we'll just like flip flop on which one. Yeah.
Same.
How about you?
I think we don't really have a split. I think he's better at mini crossword. Like he just knows like weird words because I think he's a big crossword kind of person. Like that's
I see that.
That's the
I
vibe.
see
Like he
that.
has an
Yeah.
app on his phone that's just like a bunch of crosswords. I'm like, you're sick.
That gives-
Anyway. And then like
Makes
Wordle, Strands are pretty much the same. I would say like in general, he just knows more words than me. So that also helps with Wordle sometimes. He's like, oh, it's this. I'm like, I don't even know what that fuck means, but cool. That's nice. Some like ancient word that hasn't been used in like the last century. But cool. That's nice. Connections, it depends. Like we're split based off of the type of connection. So like there's 4 different connections and they usually range from like easiest to hardest.
Right.
And then there's like different like types usually. Like is it one that's connected by a word? Is it one that's like the way it's spelt or whatever? I'm better at the ones that like it has something to do with their spelt or it's tied based off of like how you would say them out loud or like something like that, which typically are the harder ones because they're like more nuanced. But then he's really good at like the definitions, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're like split on connections.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing them together, it's interesting because when we didn't live together and we were doing them separately whenever we weren't together, we would trash connections, like absolutely like fail, not no matter what, but like often. And then as soon as we're together, I'm like, okay, we get it every single time.
Yeah, you're like locking
made
in.
the
It's such a
We're like,
rush.
ooh, and like you have 2 minds working at once, so you're not like rushing through it. And when I'm playing by myself, I'm like, din, 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 din. Nope, wrong, wrong. Oh shit, and then I'm dead.
Yeah. Another thing we started doing, because the whole New York Times word games, whatever, it's so fun, and then it gives us time to just kind of.
It'd be really fun.
it's
Try
okay.
it. Yeah, I think
If there's
you'd like
anyone
it
in the
more.
comments who wants to play connections with me.
You can play it by yourself. They are solo games.
It's a nice time
not
for us to
fun,
kind of reflect on the day and just spend a little time together. And it's like, even though we're on separate schedules, we'll always find that time, which
that's
is really
nice.
nice. And we started doing this other thing that we're calling Life Club. I think I might have spoken about it before.
Life Club.
So it kind of takes from like a book club model where it's like everyone reads the book and then they come together and they get to share what they took from it or the story and how they're reflecting on it. So instead, this is something we start and we give each other a month and we give the other person a task of something that we have done or experienced before, but the other person hasn't. So, for
I climb
example,
Mount Everest.
exactly,
You have a week to do it.
So last month, I was trying to get her to. She's been practicing to eventually get like a pull up, like a full like wide pull up, and then I've been learning Mandarin. So it could be anything.
We know,
right?
Sean.
You know.
He's been
Say the
spitting
line.
it.
Exactly.
Say the
No, I'm
line.
not gonna say it. I'm shy.
Whoosh.
But yeah, and so this month, she is getting me to do a little bit of stretching every day because she knows I've kind of been doing a little bit of yoga and a little bit of meditation, and I am so stiff And she's like, oh, this would be something that she's quite flexible, and then she wants me to do it because she values it. And then I am getting her to watch X-Men 97.
Those are so very different things.
No, but think of it. It's
The way
like,
she was explaining to us that she needed to watch it was as if it was like a life-altering time for Shaun when he watched it. Like she was, there's supposed to be things that like better each other. Like these are the challenges.
She's like, I think
I have to
flexibility is
watch
really good
X-Men
for you.
97. I
no,
was like,
but
what?
from where I'm coming from, okay, this is something that I really enjoy that she will never watch.
Right.
And I think she would genuinely enjoy it if she
Right.
gave it the chance. So now that's just prompting that. So then
Okay.
she can appreciate something I like, and then I appreciate more things she likes. So we're going to continue this model and
What if
see
she-
how it goes.
What if
Yeah,
she
she-
hated X-Men 97?
If she hates it, then that's fine. At least
Okay.
she gave it a
Yeah.
try.
Yeah,
that's
and I
fair,
can
that's
talk to her
fair.
about it.
Things
Because
that
then
she
she
would never
knows
try.
where
That's fair.
I'm coming from as well. And then she's like, oh, these are some of the things that he likes.
I like
and this
that.
is
Okay, yeah, I
why.
like that. You're trying
Yeah.
things that you guys would never do or like
Yeah,
interest
that's
each
nice.
other. That's
So
actually
that's
pretty nice.
Life Club.
She
Yeah.
was like reading me and my boyfriend the list the other day of like things she wants for like future challenges, and she's like, if you think of anything else, let me know. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking. I'm like, who? And then she was like, if me and my boyfriend were to do it, what would it be? And my boyfriend was like, maybe ride a bike. I was like,
low blow, low
fucking
blow,
okay,
low
whatever. And
there.
then I think I said Legree. I was
Oh,
like,
That's a good, that's a
"That's
good one.
one,
That's a good
right?"
one.
the Pilates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor just like shaking.
And knowing his like pride and ego's like, I got this. I got this.
One
be
thing,
so
one
funny.
thing on the list that I have for her is to run a 10K in
Yeah,
like a, in like a
I knew
reasonable
it.
time.
Yeah.
So she'll have a month, maybe go for 1 or 2 runs a week because she really hates
can't- yeah, she
like
doesn't
cardio.
run.
She likes doing like HIIT,
Yeah.
like high intensity. So I think just for her to like slow down and hey, maybe at the end of the day she gets probably
She
not,
might love it.
but she might get an appreciation for it. And I think if it's
Well,
like
she used
cool
to run on like
tasks
the
like
treadmill
this,
and stuff, but I don't know for how long.
10K's different.
I know.
10K is not too bad if you have a month to work up to it. Raw 10K
Raw 10 is crazy.
is crazy.
But she
Yeah.
could probably right now get close to a 5K.
I think
right
she could
now.
easily do a 5.
Yeah.
I think she could do. She would hate herself, but
Yeah,
she could
yeah,
do
yeah.
a 10K raw if you had to.
What's like a reasonable 10K time? Usually that's a sun run, right?
Like under
if you're
an
if
hour?
you're running
hour?
like
50?
if you're running like 5 minutes and like a half, anywhere from like 5 to 6 minutes per kilometer, you're still doing pretty good. Anything sub 5 is like pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then anything 7 is like you're getting into it.
about
You're learning your
15
pace.
hours. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say anywhere between 5 to 6, you're doing great.
I might hate you if you made me do
I would
10K.
for sure hate you.
If I think about it, she's like,
Imagine
Do
we
I love
had
him that
this,
much?
but like every friend is like assigning in like a Venn diagram. So you have like 8 different things you're working on every month. You have no free time. You're just running 10Ks, speaking Mandarin at the same time.
Reading a book, fucking watching X-Men 97. Like,
what if you knew like let's say you make her do 10K and you knew like that really took a toll on her, and the next thing you're like, now 20. You just keep upping the answer.
No, I'm thinking forward. I'm like, okay, what are the worst things that she could get me to do? And can I beat her to them by starting them myself so that at the time I'm like, nope, I already did it.
no, I would be doing things.
So
I would be starting to do things that you could then be like, I did it, so now you have to do it.
Oh.
Like I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go run a half marathon tomorrow, and then the next week I can be like, oh, you
that's
run
a crazy thing.
Yeah.
to double
At this
some-
point, I feel like there's some sort of like karmic system where if I assign
For sure,
something you
for sure.
hate, you're gonna like spite me on the next one.
sure.
So I want to keep it like fun
Yeah,
and really
yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
wholesome
And, like,
and
you're
building.
enjoying it. Yeah.
That's
I think
that's
so.
the way the app should be versus
Yeah.
like
For sure.
like we're instant thoughts like, how do I really like just really make this tough? Like, how do I win?
Step on this thumbtack.
I did 12 yesterday.
Spider wrangling time.
Oh,
Yo,
no.
that'd be crazy.
Instead of like beekeeping,
She
you're
makes
just
you
like
go on the
arachnid
elevator
farm.
at P&E.
Oh god.
These are all like non-constructive things as a person.
Yeah.
It's just like fear factor.
It's like, you know what? I don't think this is healthy anymore.
Dead.
Yeah.
Do you have any other fun couple things that you do to
I think
Keep
those
the
are
roomies
those are
at
like
bay?
the biggest things to start because it's really about slowing down and just finding time each day.
Yeah.
A lot of things, whether it's like the small things, cooking things, leaving
Yeah.
dinner out, or even if I know she's working from home, I'll like maybe like bring her a little snack or something. So it's a lot of the small things.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to
Like
build in some of the
maintenance.
big things.
Yeah.
Yeah. The maintenance is important, and now we're trying to stack on.
Yeah, that's nice.
These new
that's
fun
nice.
things.
Yeah, I do that for myself too. Sometimes I cook meals. I cook at lunchtime and I leave it out for me for dinner.
Here's
I'm like,
a little snack, Ivan.
damn, I'm tired back at the gym.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks,
You're so
Ivan.
nice
I
to
didn't have
me.
to cook
You knew
dinner
exactly
this
what I
time.
like.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. The little things I do with myself.
I'm dead.
Let's go for walks. It's nice. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, me and my boyfriend are implementing check-ins.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a weekly. It sounds more like formal than it is. It's usually like we'll have like a meal or something, and then we'll be like, oh, should we do like our little weekly check-in? And then usually you can just like Google a bunch of questions and they'll just give it, and we'll just like ask random ones that day. There's no like set questions that we do, but it's usually just like, like more of like a pause moment to like reflect on what happened the week earlier. It was really helpful after our first week, and like, let's be honest, I've lived with him for 2 weeks, so like it hasn't been that long. But number one, I think it was good for revisiting any arguments we had to like really make sure you finished that conversation. And like, because especially, I don't know if this happens for you, but whenever like I like to like sit on things and like new things will come up, and I'll like process it
Let it
later.
stew a little bit.
And then if I can't get out what I process later, that's when the resentment builds.
Right.
So like having a checkpoint that you don't just have to like randomly bring up, it's coming. You're like, okay, I can like spend the whole week, get the conversation out, make sure it's like solved and whatnot. But if anything else comes up, I have like a perfect place to like revisit the conversation. But then it's usually just like, like what's something that you really appreciated throughout the week so that I know to keep doing it, or like something that's happening next week that you could use my help on or whatever. So just we're on the same page for everything. So yeah, I never did that with a previous relationship.
Yeah,
That's cool. I like
That's cool. I like that. I should send you. I have a bunch of TikToks saved. I've done that in my previous relationships. It's the same idea. It's like I forgot the frequency we did it, but it was like either just checking in, saying like, hey, how do you feel about us right now and all that stuff. And then if there was like it was a good month, no fights. I have these TikToks saved where they're like deep, invoking like relationship questions, and I think I have like 30 saved. 20
Dude.
Oh,
saved.
that's cool.
I
And
probably have the
just
same one saved. Don't
go
worry
to
about
one.
it.
Yeah, well, I'll show you later. We go to one and like let's just do this one together.
Yeah.
And like they're really cool. And just like there's a card game about that too. Actually,
Yeah, we're not really
cool.
strangers. I have
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single edition.
I realize in my relationship we do that as well. We kind of just like, hey, like vibe check.
Yeah.
Lab check.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to like let that stuff be swept under the rug and like not address it when you're like with each other all the time. And like sometimes you don't even know you're not addressing it until you're
Yeah.
like asked those questions. So yeah, it's just nice to have like a safe space. Also, yeah, I've been in like a healthy relationship before, but I don't think I've ever been in a relationship with someone with such a high like EQ. Like that's a little different. So there was a time where it was kind of one of those situations where we're both pissing each other off, but not knowing that I'm also pissing, like, I'm like, you're pissing me off, but I don't know I'm also pissing you off.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I had like expressed, I'm like, oh, you're kind of rubbing me the wrong way in these ways. And he was like, okay, how do I articulate to her that she's also pissing me off, but I don't want to make this about me. So he like sat and had the conversation with me about my stuff, and like it was all done. And then like we went and did different tasks. I was completely calmed down by that point, like we've resolved. And then I could tell he was probably like thinking of how to bring it up, but he eventually goes like, can I communicate something to you? And as soon as he said that, I like guards down. I was like, anything. Like, sure, of course. Like, no problem. Instead of him just being like, okay, so like when you did that thing, like, well, feel like that would have immediately, I would have been like, the
Like
fuck?
on defense, right?
Yeah, I would have been like, oh.
Left field,
oh,
like
okay. Whoa,
fight or
whoa,
flight.
okay.
Yeah.
But he was just like, can I communicate something to you? And I was like, oh, I'm sad.
Communicate.
I'm like, go
My favorite
ahead,
word.
Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. It was like such a, guards down, one line. I'm like, oh, I'm stealing that every single time. I got
Yeah.
something to communicate.
Yeah.
Can I communicate something to you?
I need to verbally say something to you.
Can I give you a little bit of feedback here?
Can we do beefs and bouquets?
One tip for, I think, just a healthy living environment. I've learned that a lot of fights happen during transition periods. So if someone is coming off work or just had a hard day, or they're doing a task that they didn't want to do and they're just coming out of it, it's when technically, yes, they do have free time, but they're still shifting their mental state.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then just voicing that, you know, I haven't quite refreshed yet. Give me
Yeah.
time. I do want to talk to you, but I'm just taking a couple moments to myself.
Totally.
That has helped out my relationship a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as well as when problems do come up, just how to handle it's like, hey, are you looking for me to agree with you? Are you looking for me to try to like solve your problem? Do you just want ears for listening?
Yeah.
And then just going into that has been very, very helpful in being productive in conversations.
Totally, yeah. And I think like also like understanding how you and your partner, whoever you're living with, like how they like to operate that stuff. Like some people get heated right away. They're like, hey, like, can you give me some space and then we talk about it? Or they're like, I need to talk about it now. Like I'm the type of person that can't sleep unless it's resolved. You know, and like working around that too is also important. Like understanding how people like to handle conflicts.
Yeah.
Like super big, super big.
Totally.
Damn.
I don't know
Living
how
with people
long
is
we've been talking
hard.
for.
It's been like an hour and a half. I think.
Yeah, we hit it all. I think we're good.
I think we're good. So anyways, moving sucks. Living with people is hard.
Stay single.
I want to play Wordle, so let me know if anyone wants to play Wordle with me. And let us know how you clean your dishes. And if you're a macro or micro cleaner.
Yeah, or if you're an organized or a clean person.
And if you got some tips for working well with your roommate or your partner in your household, just let us know. We're
I
always
was
trying to
asking them
learn.
for like 10 different
Yeah.
things in the comments. They're like, first, I'm clean. And second, this is my tip for, yes, Ivan, I will play Wordle with you. And I do agree with a 4-day work week.
Give us anything here,
Give us
please.
anything,
We're looking
please,
for some
please, please,
engagement.
please. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
but we will see you next time.
Thanks
for
for
watching.
listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.